Hi guys, in our earlier video we saw that our program was very slow when we were using list data structure for this particular scenario. Now let's just re-evaluate our scenario and let's see how we can improve the performance of our code. Now if you see file 1, there are duplicate values. List holds duplicate values. Now in order to just check whether the element in file 2 occurs in file 1, we do not want to store the duplicate values. It's sufficient if we just hold one value. And in order to do that in Python supports a data structure called a set. Now set doesn't hold a duplicate value. Set actually holds only one value for a particular element. The element can't occur the second time. Set just rejects if any element occurs the second time, since that is already there. Now we can use set for this case and see how that improves the performance of our code. Now if you remember, read lines returns the lines as a list. Now set accepts any iterable as its parameter and it can return a set out of it. Now we are returning a set here, and so the get file contents here that and here will be a set. That means the L and R will not be a list anymore and it will be a set. Now we are just iterating over the right set and just we are looking for that in the left set and we are incrementing the counter. Now let's just run this code and see how it performs. I'm going to run my code. Now that was so fast, and it clearly states it has 350,000 records, which is the expected value because I know that all the values in the file 2 exists in file 1 but twice. Now if you see the total number of records in file 2, it is 358,000. So the same value is what returned here. So the program is working fine and it is also so fast, and it is like tremendously fast while compared to list. Why is set so fast compared to list? Now I'll explain this in a moment, and before that we have to consider one more scenario. Now set actually eliminates the duplicate data. That itself reduces the size of the data, which is also a factor for the performance improvement. And let's just consider one more scenario before analyzing why set is so fast than list. Now let's consider this scenario. Now here we removed the redundant data or the duplicate data in file 1. In file 1 we removed the duplicate data while reading it. Now say we want also to consider the duplicate data. Now say now in file 2 we have a value called ABCD. Now if it occurs twice, then I want the counter to be incremented twice, and if it occurs thrice, and then I want the counter to be incremented thrice. So I just want the total count of each values to be added with the main counter. So in this particular scenario we can't use set because set removes the duplicate data. So we will be losing the duplicate data of file 1. What if we want to hold those data and we want those to be added with the count, the total count, in the total count. Now in order to do that, what we can do is we can have one more method. Now what we are going to do in this method is we are going to actually create a data structure called dict, which Python supports. Now in dict we can store key and value pairs. So the key will be the value of the file, the element in the file. Each and every line in the file will be a value, and a key. Each and every element or each and every line in the file will be a key, and the number of occurrence will be the value of the dict. Now let's just write the code. So I am reading the lines. So what this does is it checks whether the dict contains the key line. That means this value here, each and every value will be read as a line here, and it checks whether the dict already contains this value. If it doesn't contain, then none will be returned, and if it contains, its corresponding value will be returned, which is always going to be greater than 0, since that's what I am going to store, and that will enter this if condition. Now if it enters this if condition, I am going to just say add the value, and if there is no element, then I'm going to just put a value 1 there, and then once this is done, I'm going to return the dict. Now here we have to make slight modification. Now we are going to consider only the left file as a dict. Let the right file be a set itself. Since we need the count in the left file only, we are going to consider only the left file as a dict. So I have replaced it, and here we have to change the code. Now here what I have done is, now for each value in the right set, I am reading it and I am checking whether that particular value is available as a key in this left dict. If it is available, then I am reading its value and I am adding it to the total counter. If it is not available, I am just ignoring it. So the counter here will have the values, the counter here will have, now say that this line has occurred twice, and then the dict will have 2 as its value. Now I will be adding 2 to the counter here. So by that way I can make sure that the count truly records the number of occurrences of each and every value also. So now the code is complete. Let me just run this code, analyze the performance, and check the results. If you can see, dict is also as fast as set, and at the same time it has recorded the true occurrences of each values, that is each value of file 2 in file 1. So why is dict and set faster than list. That is because dict and set use a technique called hashing. Now that is the actually a hash table which dict and set use internally. Now what is hashing? I'll explain it in more detail. Now whenever we set a value as a key for a dict, then what it does is it converts or it sends that particular value to a hash function, and it converts it into an integer index, and this integer index is an index of an array which actually stores the value of that key. Now in our case we stored each value of file 1 as a key. So what it does is the key is sent to a hash function that converts it into an index, and the value will be the number of occurrences of that particular key. That's what we stored. So while doing that, each and every index is fetched at the constant time. So to actually get a value of a particular key, since we are using indexing here, it fetches at a constant time of big O of 1. So this is tremendously faster than a linear search which list uses. Now this is the case of a dict. Now why is set also faster than list is because set internally uses dict, and what the values that you pass in a set is stored as a key in that particular dict. Now the dict will not have any values but only keys, that is the values that you pass inside a set will be stored as a key in that particular dict or a hash table. Now that's why you can't store duplicate data in a set. Similarly, there cannot be two keys with the same value in a dict. That means you can't have a key called John Smith twice. You can have a value twice but mapped to two different keys, but not a same key. You can't have two same keys. That's why in set we can't have duplicate data. Now let's actually analyze one more data structure that Python supports. Let's create one more function and call it get file contents 3. Now that particular data structure is a part of collections package that is called counter, and that exactly does the job that we did here in this method. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the class pass the lists. Now let me use this method here instead of the method that we wrote earlier. Now if you can clearly see, the lines of code is reduced to just one line of code. Now let's just run this code and see how it performs. See, that gave us the same result, and it is also as fast as dict and set. At the same time, the number of lines of code is so much reduced to just one line of code with almost same performance. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, just subscribe for more videos like this. Have a nice day.